This is Chris from Houston, and you're listening to Drunkards United. Come on, you Iron!
You know, I'm sitting here and I'm listening to you guys all taking the first sips of something that we will be discussing, and you're like, "Oh, it's disgusting," and I'm like, "I told you it was fucking disgusting." Like, you all didn't want to believe me, but I think you all are now going to hold me at a higher level of regard because I do have a trophy here that denotes that I am an MVP. So from this point forward, I insist that you all refer to me as Mr. MVP. Thank you very much.
Mel.
Yes, Graham.
I just downed a glass of Bucky because I got a bone to pick with all you fuckers. I'm back. Let's start the show.
Hello and welcome to the Drunken United Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and across the way from me is the European jet setter, Samuel Graham. Sammy, clearly you've got some fucking issues. How are you doing?
Oh, the Bucky is coursing through my veins, mate.
Yeah. Oh, it's disgusting.
It is gross, but I'm starting to take a liking to it. No, I just had to stop that. After getting ripped for the last 2 weeks about making it all about myself, you showed up with an MVP trophy for a community golf tournament you paid for in whiskey, and
Details
Be
people.
careful, or his MVP-ness might rub off on you.
Oh, I see what you did there. MVP-ness.
Details you need not be bothered with. All you need to know is Mr. MVP over here, and that's all you need to know. So we're recording at Studio H just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out on every single podcast platform you could possibly think of. And should you want to chat with us, there's many ways that you can. So, Sammy, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Absolutely. We are at DUfootballshow on all your social medias. That's Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And DUfootballshow@gmail.com. Also, make sure you check out our closed group, the club page, as Mel likes to call it, Drunkard United FC on Facebook. We just don't take no shit in there. So joke, laugh, have fun, rip on each other's teams, talk about funny stuff, share videos, tweets, all that kind of stuff. No racism, no homophobia, no any other dumb shit, really.
Don't be overly political either.
We don't do the politics stuff.
We're just running our mouths about.
Unless you agree with me.
No, hit the fucking mute button. See, here's the problem with you being away is that she suddenly thinks she's fucking second mic. So Sam
I did hear a lot of her on the old shows.
You also heard a lot of yourself.
It's true, I did.
You all are just stumbling all over top of me. Can I just at least do the introduction of the fucking show? Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry, and we both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirit. And tonight, we just decided to go all over the fucking place. We have a smorgasbord of shit we're drinking.
Yes.
And none of it particularly all that great. So,
Nope.
Sammy, tell everybody what we're drinking tonight.
All right, so for the liquor drink, Manchester City in a glass, I guess you'd say, for our Tequila Sunrise cocktail. We've used Jose Cuervo Tradicional tequila, which is their, silver tequila, which is Jose Cuervo's 100% blue agave version. Rested for 30 days in used oak and runs between $25.99 and $29.99 on the shelf. Comes in 80 proof, but really, who gives a fuck about that? Because I've brought home...
Wait for it. I just want to let you know, I am a man of the people. I am an MVP. I give the people what the people want. Sam, since this is a vocal medium and there's no TV, why don't you tell the people what I'm putting on top of my Tequila Sunrise right now?
Now this actually makes it interesting. Mr. Houston is doing a Malort floater on his Tequila Sunrise.
You people fucking asked for it. You fucking get it. There you go, people.
All right. But yeah, no one actually cares about any of that because I brought home 3 bottles of Buckfast.
Brought home the Bucky.
So the old Bucky, which when I asked a particular bartender when I was in Glasgow, asked him where I could find Buckfast, he goes, "Oh, mate, you want the Bucky?" I said, "Yeah, I want the Bucky." He goes, "Well, it's kind of responsible for most of the destruction in Glasgow." And I was like, that's pretty funny. Definitely, where do I find it? So 15% only runs you £7 at the Co-op over by the Glasgow Central train station. Yep. In case you're ever in town. It comes in a 750 ml grape flavor, kind of. A lot of chemical there. It is a sugar bomb, and it has loads of caffeine in it or crack, which we still can't decide which one it is.
Oh my God, this is if there was a Mad Dog Purple Passion flavor and a Red Bull fucked. That's what this would be.
This is what Jamie Vardy drank before he graduated to vodka and Red Bull.
Yes, exactly. All right, so kids, let's have ourselves a lovely show.
Let's do it to it.
I just, there's a flavor in it I can't quite identify. And so I drink more to identify the flavor. And then the more I drink, the less I care about it.
Yeah. And this, to me, you know how New Jersey's the pharmaceutical capital of the United States?
This tastes like New Jersey?
This tastes like New Jersey.
Yeah.
This
absolutely.
is what I imagine New Jersey tastes like.
100%.
Yeah.
Tastes like New Jersey.
Yeah.
That Malort floater tastes fucking disgusting on top of the Tequila Sunrise.
Yes.
No.
Good.
So
we're back.
And by the way, that is not in lieu of my shot. I am a man of the people, and I will do my shot as well later on tonight. So, Sam, we talk about it all the time with the show, and we've told people, we're like, look, we're not always going to talk about the big six clubs. That's not always, if that's not the story, that's not what we're going to talk about. And that's the case in how we're going to open up this show. Honestly, the two most entertaining games were 2-2 draws this weekend.
Yep.
So we have West Ham 2, Bournemouth 2, Aston Villa 2, Burnley 2. Well, as we have stated before, the Cherries are a tough out at home. It's just what they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Yarmolenko had that tidy goal after just 10 minutes. And Sebastian Haller controlling a long cross, found his feet fast enough to get it to Yarmolenko. Somehow VAR decided that Josh King's goal should stand despite the first player that touched the ball being offside. Not sure what that was. Same way I'm not sure how we needed VAR to decide Aubameyang was onside today, which we'll come on to later.
Right.
But so this is part of the problem, though, which we'll get into in a few weeks. But this is the issue. There's still no consistency.
No, none whatsoever.
You know what I mean? Game to game, because it's a different referee, VAR for each match.
Right.
It's shambolic, to be honest.
Well, in the case of yours, it was the ref wasn't even supposed to raise the flag. Apparently, under VAR standards,
the other thing,
he wasn't supposed to raise the flag.
He was on the line. Well, he was well in position. He just wasn't looking across the line.
Yeah.
He wasn't paying attention to what he was supposed to be fucking paying attention to.
Exactly. So let's get back to what we're going to talk about.
Also, by this rationale, Arsenal should have won the North London Derby a few weeks ago. But West Ham were pushing the rest of the first half. Callum Wilson then scored only 30 seconds into the second after having a great weaving run by Dominic Solanke, finally doing something for the Cherries.
Fabulous
fabulous
fantasy weekend for me. But that game was a fabulous fantasy.
Really?
Because I had both Wilson and Yarmolenko.
Yeah, I was too busy. I still haven't fucking changed hardly any of my lineup. I'm guaranteed I'm close to last. I didn't even look.
Whatever excuse you need to tell yourself
terrible.
while I'm in third.
I need to start paying attention. Great advantage played by the ref. If it was Mikey Dean, he would have celebrated that advantage he played when Solanke got taken down. Bournemouth were then on top for a bit before West Ham nabbing the equalizer through Aaron Cresswell on 74. Had a decent volley that was deflected in. But there was a Bournemouth goal ruled out for offside, and VAR didn't seem to be consulted about that one. So I just don't fucking know anymore.
So, few thoughts here. First off on the Cherries. Last three games, big turnaround for them because we were talking just right before you left of, where the Cherries going to go. Apparently, all you need is that good old Everton bump to get yourself going in the league.
Yeah, right.
But more importantly, Philip Billing, is this the player Bournemouth's been missing? Someone that can toughen them up a little, hold down the middle of the field, kind of do the ugly, thankless work?
Yeah, but I kind of think Philip Billing is also a decent passer of the ball.
Yeah.
He's also can strike a ball from distance. I think he gives them, the old triple threat guy. Because he does do all that dirty work as well. So he can create from deep. He's kind of the traditional box-to-box midfielder. He's kind of that Aaron Ramsey. Defends decently enough. Aaron Ramsey was bad defensively, but the idea of that position is you have somebody that's able to defend. you have somebody that's able to pick a pass, and that'll score you an odd goal or two.
Yeah.
So they do all three things, and they do them all serviceably.
Yeah.
Right?
It just for me, it just feels like this team has always been okay, hopefully we can withstand the pressure. If they give us a chance to counter, we're fast on the wings, and we've got a guy who can score
there's
up top.
the thing. The creative
it just feels
presence.
like there's more stability to
the
this
creative
lineup.
presence for Bournemouth has always been on their wings. So their central midfield has always been very defensive, and Billum offers them something different to that.
Yeah, it's been a nice addition, and now going over to West Ham, Yarmolenko has been on fire lately.
He's been playing really well.
You know,
Well, he started on fire, remember, before he tore his ACL last season.
Yep, that was against us when he injured himself.
Yeah, and he barely featured, obviously, after that the rest of the year, and then has been on a tear the start of this year. Sorry, that's probably bad after an ACL injury.
If the ball is on...
You got it.
Yeah, yes. If the ball is on
I've missed you. I've missed you so much. I tried to make goo-goo eyes at Rob, and I got lost.
It didn't...
You just...
Oh,
So
hi,
I'm
Sam.
ugly
Sorry.
enough you can stay focused? Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying?
No, you're funny. I can giggle with you.
Well, you're going to get to
Hit
talk plenty. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. But with West Ham, so there's a few. Unfortunately, there's going to be a few questions. Fabianski goes out, and it looks like it's going to be not until December before he gets back.
Yeah, it's going to be trouble.
Roberto did well in this game. He had a nice handful
He had a couple of
saves,
nice saves, yeah.
But let's also face it, he sucked a bag of dicks in the midweek in the League Cup where they went out, unfortunately.
Yep.
So now, granted, the lineup for West Ham wasn't their normal lineup in the League Cup game. So there has to be kind of a little bit of a pass on that. But he did well this time. Will he keep doing well?
I don't know if he has to.
Fabianski
As long as
saves them in games.
I know, but as long
lot.
as their first choice team stays switched on, right? They're not a bad side.
Yeah, but they don't.
So,
that defense doesn't.
but-
Fabianski has to make a big save.
Excuse me. Look at what Adrian is doing, West Ham's old keeper at Liverpool, where that defense stays switched on and he doesn't have to make a ton of amazing saves, right? Mm-hmm. He only sees 3 or 4 a game and he's able to stay up with that. If Pellegrini can keep West Ham's defense switched on, I don't think he'll have to do that much work.
Right.
And if that's the case, then you'll have a serviceable replacement for you're going to lose an odd couple. He's going to make a mistake, fine, whatever. It happens. Nobody's perfect. But if that defense switches off, you could kill his confidence. You could do a lot of damage to that player. And you could see West Ham go on a bit of a nosedive for a little bit until Fabianski comes back. Right. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, that's this was the question we had about West Ham it's a good squad, a very good squad, very well managed. Well, what if the wrong injury happens?
Well,
this
absolutely.
is the big question: is what if they go out and they get a win this next weekend? No harm, no foul. Keep on rolling. Do what you got to do. But
more on that later in our betting segment.
So it's a little bit of an odd situation, and and besides, other than losing 2 games by a combined 9-0, West Ham's been playing great.
Yeah.
For the most part,
They have.
That was for you, Chris. Let's go ahead and get into Burnley and Villa. See, I told you I wasn't going to say specifically the first game. I just worked it into another way. Dude, see what I did there? It was pretty great, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm proud of myself.
Who started the poll about me running on the pitch at the Arsenal?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Absolutely, I did.
I think Chris was the first comment on that post.
That's
why I had to take my dig during the live video pre-show.
I liked Lindsay's with Jack flicking his hair, which, since we're talking about Aston, can we talk about Jack Grealish's thirst trap on Instagram this week?
I didn't see it.
She told me about it. I'm going to go ahead and
So what is it? What happened?
Sunday, as in
Sunday.
yesterday, Jack Grealish posts a picture of him at Emirates Stadium that says, "It was a pleasure to play here. My favorite stadium in the Prem."
Huh.
I call that a thirst trap.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to check out Lindsay's show later this week. Blue
Decent
Eyes
little
and Claret,
player.
to see what she has to say about that.
To be honest,
But,
Danny Ceballos is only on loan. We could use a player like that.
And Gunner Nation was all over
Of
that
course they
shit,
were.
wanting Jack.
Listen, if
and
there's one thing that you
I'm
haven't
sure he
learned
got
yet about
so
football,
many dick pics from little Englishmen.
if there's one thing that you haven't learned about football yet, is that Arsenal owns the fucking internet. We are very vocal, very cynical, and absolutely ridiculous. When something gets
lunatics.
mentioned, oh yeah, the world lights on fire with us. I mean, I'm surprised half of Gunner Nation still has the letters on their keyboard they
Oh,
type
my
so
gosh.
fast.
Yeah, no, they were all
Yeah,
about it.
they were
And
going
so,
nuts,
there's
absolutely.
There's some speculation out there.
Yeah,
about,
England's Rose Jack Grealish
Yep.
So
coming to the Arsenal. You heard it
Sammy,
here first.
That Burnley Villa match.
That was rough.
It did. That had about as much stank on it as the first time you had Buckfast with that hooker in the
Every
alley.
time I
No,
look
That
no.
tranny hooker in
no,
the alley.
No. It was not a hooker, and she was not
A
a
stripper.
transsexual. The young gentleman was dressed as a very pretty young lady, and would
With
just
a beard.
No, he was a very pretty girl, and that's what he identifies as. So we're gonna let him do that. But it was a shared moment when we had that Buckfast. It was a very shared.
All I'm saying-
it is
I
a
just
moment in
wanna
my
walk
life
away
I
from
will
that.
treasure. I will treasure forever.
I just want to walk away from that.
There's another one later,
So
even worse.
every time I looked up was another Villa player flat on their back.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all had told me that Burnley was rough, but
Yeah.
man.
Burnley's a team full of me's that occasionally scores a goal.
And
Yep.
And fucking man bun kicking Grealish in the last 30 seconds
Rodriguez.
of the
That
game.
was Jay Rodriguez, yeah.
God. And that
Jay, I didn't realize
Tchaikovsky
he
guy.
started there.
What's his name? Tchaikovsky?
Yeah, Tchaikovsky.
Yeah, that guy's a beast.
Yeah, he
His
is.
ears at one point smacked a guy in the face.
That's
So
that's terrible.
it's.
That's terrible.
Y'all are just too much, really. I do want to say I'm drinking the Tequila Sunrise. It has now reached the point where I'm actually tasting some orange juice with the Malort. A little. No tequila whatsoever.
I will say VR did not screw us over this week, although I was literally typing into the football club goal when it got called back. So now I guess we all have to wait after a goal before we can celebrate.
Yeah.
I will say VAR does suck the energy out of a game and out of a
Absolutely.
stadium.
Absolutely.
Because you see that hit the net, and that was such a great cross, and McGinn was in the right spot, on his foot, nailed it, and it just,
Yep.
unfortunately, VR was right on that call, but at least McGinn got a chance to come through with another goal
If
later.
you wouldn't mind, could you hit my button, please?
The mute one?
Wow. Sauciness over here. No, my fuck VAR button. I like
Oh.
hearing that one.
Okay. And
Hold on, the song or you?
Oh, the song's good. Do the song.
I was just going to say, if you needed to hear your own voice, really,
While I'm here.
while you're here, that's. Oh,
That's another good one,
that's
though.
a Villa one.
There we go.
Fuck VAR, yes.
But at least I don't have to do a shot of Malort.
Well, there you go. Fair enough. Count that as a win.
Now, here's an opportunity to give Mel a little bit of constructive criticism. On the McGinn goal, there was an opportunity to use one of the Samisms.
Oh, what did I forget to use?
You could have said, although the goal got called back, the pass came across, and McGinn put a daft little touch on it.
He did put a daft little touch
Yeah,
on
see?
it.
Now you understand what a daft little touch
he,
means, huh?
He spewed his glory all over the net. Is that a thing?
Nope.
More follow our new page, DU After Dark. You can find us at
There's something with
www.69duffootballshow69.com.
spreading glory somewhere.
McGinn
He didn't cover himself in glory, is the phrase.
McGinn is starting to turn himself into a Johnny on the spot
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of guy, isn't
And
he?
works
like
harder
him.
than anybody I've ever seen.
That
Dude's
kid
fantastic.
hustles.
Yeah, dude's
that,
fantastic.
That second goal that he scored was right place, right time. Just put a bullet on the backside, and just the game as a whole was just damn entertaining.
Well,
It
you know
was.
what I was really excited about pre-match was seeing big Tyrone Mings and how physical he is. I think he's 6'3" or 6'5" against Chris Wood, who's the other of those two heights. I can't
Yeah.
remember which one's which.
Yeah.
But also very physical. Ashley Barnes, very physical.
Jay Rodriguez, very physical.
Yeah, but Jay Rodriguez is old.
Yeah,
and
but he's
a
still
midfielder.
physical. But he's also physical.
No, right. But Tyrone Mings would have been marking one of the two forwards.
Yeah.
And that battle, It's like an old school Premier League battle.
Yeah.
Even before the Premier League, it's like an old First Division battle.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I love watching that. That's the kind of stuff that I used to relish when I was a player. I still play. I don't know that I call myself a player anymore, though.
So,
But that was brilliant. It was awesome.
so Burnley did what Burnley does, as we
muscle them.
call it. You know, it's.
Can we talk about Oghazi's goal?
Please.
Audacious.
Yeah.
Why would you even try that? It's fucking brilliant. Why would you even try that? That was fucking brilliant. The cross was a little short outside of the near post. Takes it off the half volley and meant to do it. Like, why would you even try that? Who thinks of that? That was fucking brilliant.
Why not?
You know what else is audacious? The way that Sam needed to just shoehorn that right in. He had that written down and had that highlighted, and he definitely needed to say that.
Aw,
I did it for you, Mel.
here's my bone to pick.
Okay.
I kept hearing the announcers call out Trezeguet, and I kept looking up numbers to see who the fuck was Trezeguet, because that's not actually his name.
No. It's
Well,
not.
I didn't know that.
It's a nickname they gave him because he.
Well,
I think
now
'cause
I
he
know.
looked like David
He looks
Trezeguet
like it.
or
He was
something.
given to it at age 9.
Yeah.
Because he's the second favorite Egyptian footballer in English Premier League currently, behind Mo Salah.
Right.
And apparently he looks and plays, and that's why they call him that. But I was confused, and Houston was at a frickin' car show, so I had nobody to tweet my answers to.
Yeah. Yep.
Car show working. Thank you.
I should have called Lindsay. She would have talked me off the ledge.
There you go.
Anyway, so Villa needs to start. These are games now. Granted, Burnley's a tough out, but this is at home. These are the games you need to start winning. Aston Villa, you got the ugly win against Everton. Everybody's slump buster, and but you gotta start turning these into 3 points.
Slump buster.
Yeah, that's everybody's slump buster
It's
right
my
now.
nickname for my husband.
Thanks, appreciate it.
I do find it fitting that the Tom Heaton derby finished all level at being
Yeah.
a goalkeeper. That's nice.
They both
Yeah.
played. Yeah, both.
They
him
both
and
played very
played
well. Yeah.
And just one last thought towards the Bournemouth West Ham game that should be noted for West Ham is lose in the middle of the week to a League One side in the cup and get knocked out. Normally, the next game you go to Bournemouth. That's a game you lose.
Yeah,
Guess
it's a
what?
bit. Yeah, that
You didn't lose it this
right.
year. That's
the positive.
West Ham fans, what you need to take away from that game is that's a game we normally lose. We didn't lose that game. That's pretty damn good.
For sure. Those games tend to be the game after that tends to have a little hangover to it, a little bit turgent. But yeah, West Ham, still flexed a little bit of muscle, still tried to do what they were supposed to do.
Alrighty, so you've been away, so we'll go ahead and give you your ample Arsenal time to just yell and scream about it.
That's not too much. It would look like two high school teams playing.
I was good. You stole my thunder.
Fucking terrible.
I said this was a rivalry game that used to mean something, and
You know what it looked
now
like?
it's this.
You know what it looked like? Two old heavyweights that ran out of money and came out of retirement to fight each other
just to get a payday.
just because they needed a payday.
Arsenal won, Manchester United won. Sammy, what do you got to say about the match?
Can I say that when the first time that I saw Paul Pogba's hair, the camera just kind of panned by him, and I wasn't sure how. I didn't notice anything had happened. I thought he cut his head. I thought it was like soaked in blood. Then a little bit later on a corner, they kind of zoomed in. I also didn't realize there's a little bit of yellow. He had the Manchester City kit from the weekend upside down in his streak of color on his head, which is also very funny.
Already pitching himself to be sold.
Yeah, that's what he did all summer. So very funny and very fitting. This was all set up for a 1-0 United win, and which is what I thought was actually going to happen. Just both teams are in disarray. We haven't won at Old Trafford since 2006. It screamed Rashford on a counterattack, and then we weren't going to get shit out of it.
Right.
But luckily, that's not what happened. Although Granit Xhaka has been named our permanent captain, so I'm sure we're going to have some shite results here coming up soon. Lineup was a little bit strange, I thought. 3 defensive midfielders. I thought showing United a little too much respect. We had no real creative presence in there.
Yeah, they're a counter-attacking team.
Yeah,
Why
Ozil,
would you go?
Ozil wasn't even in the squad. And then, not that he would have played anyway, but Ceballos was on the bench as well. So you had the young Bukayo Saka out on the wings, 18
Right.
years old, in a couple of days. And a couple of days, not in a couple of days. And then that was it. You had Alba and Nicolas Pepe. You had Guendouzi, Torreira, and Xhaka all in the middle of the field. So who's creating what for who? You know, I think that game screamed out for Ceballos from the start. And maybe we could have done something a little earlier than we did.
That game screamed out humidity sucks because Guendouzi's hair was all flat instead of the nice, beautiful frizz
was
that it normally is.
Teeming down with rain.
He looked like a soaking wet poodle that was dissatisfied.
He did. His perm went flat.
So
For sure. So other than that, though, the game was pretty even stats-wise and pretty indicative of where the two clubs are. If we don't get Nicolas Pepe to start settling in, I think it might be time to drop him, to be honest. Let him just train a few weeks, maybe put a bug in his ass. When Lacazette comes back fit, you move Alba out to the left, and this kid, Saka, is playing brilliantly.
Right.
Let him keep running. Or Joe Willock. Or Reece Nelson.
Yeah.
Any one of them. You know what I mean? Have played with desire and want, and their passes are on point. There was one shot that came to him that Saka set up for him that was horrendous. He was all alone, kind of halfway between the middle and the corner of the 18. Tried to take it first time, Rosie. Might actually have hit the upper deck behind the goal.
Right.
Like, you got to be testing the goalkeeper from there. That was absolutely ridiculous. We outshot them 5-4. So, again, stats-wise, it was pretty even. They actually outpossessed us, which for their shite midfield is ridiculous.
Right.
But, there wasn't many positives to take from it. I don't know why.
You didn't lose at Old Trafford, which is what you normally do.
Correct. I don't know why VAR was needed again. That offsides was never offsides. He was a good 3 yards on.
Right. Like I said, that's where the officials have been told in that instance to keep your flag down and let VAR rule.
Right.
So why was he even throwing up his flag in the first
Exactly.
place? It should have been down.
Lovely finish from Aubameyang, though.
Yeah.
And obviously before that, I don't want to take anything away from the kid. Scott McTominay with a wonderful hit
Oh, it was
for
a great
his
hit.
goal.
Great
The
hit.
young Scotsman did well there. But if you watch the replay, Xhaka ducked his head out of the way.
Of course he did.
Not fucking captain material. Even Theo Walcott knows that after getting knocked out this weekend by a cross.
Thank you. Appreciate you bringing that one up.
And then Saka and Pogba both had chances. McTominay had another one, and the lack of quality in the finishing was terrible. In the end, I think it was a fair result, but it really was hard to watch.
So here's a question for you then. Since United to an extent is on a youth movement, Chelsea is definitely on a youth movement. Why not Arsenal on a youth movement?
Well, they are with Saka. Let's say 18 years
but
and 25
full
days
blown
old.
and go for it.
Well, they brought on Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
They brought on why am I forgetting their name? Joe Willock.
Right.
They Guendouzi started, who's only 19. Callum Chambers started, who's 23, 24, somewhere in that range. You had Bird Leno's 25. Lucas Torreira's only 22, 23. So they were young.
Yep.
Aubameyang and Xhaka were the two oldest in the team, and Pepe's only 26.
Where does this draw leave Ole? I mean,
In limbo still. I mean, I don't know that they can fire him at this point. I think they've signed on to him. It goes far deeper than that. I think the biggest problem is Ed Woodward.
yeah,
He's a commercial genius. There's no one better to sell shirts than him and figure out who's marketable and who's not. But the footballing side of it, he's a fucking lunatic idiot.
needs
He
to.
doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground.
Rounding up the rest of the league, and so that happened. Chelsea 2, Brighton 0. Spurs 2, Southampton 1. Wolves finally get a win. Paul, you don't have to jump off the ledge anymore. 2-0 over Watford. Palace 2, Norwich 0. Suddenly Palace thinks they know how to win at home.
Fuck Timo Pukki.
And the Foxes 5, good old Newcastle 0. Chelsea finally get a win. And
Newcastle.
finally get a win and finally get a shutout at home.
Yeah, again, more on it later, but I lost my bet again because of Timo Pukki. So I don't know. The automatic penalty, you knew what was going to happen as soon as it was given. Milivojevic stepping up. There's nothing to worry about then. And then Andros Townsend getting a goal in stoppage time. What happened in the middle of it, though?
What happened in the middle of it, though, is
Didn't
that
really,
you didn't...
between the two goals, didn't really give a shit about anything.
No. What happened in the middle of it is that you didn't realize that I said Chelsea finally get... Well,
2-0. I was looking at the scores. All I heard was a score, to be honest with you. So anyway, that's all I had to say about Palace Norwich. So that's done. We can move on.
Fucking train wreck. No, don't encourage him. He fucked up.
Listen, I drank a half a bottle of Buckfast. It's starting to hit me.
Let's get to it.
If I fucked up, you'd all be all over my ass about it. So no. Yeah, welcome back from vacation. Hey, you. Hey, look, in my eyes. Seriously, tighten your fucking game up.
All right.
So, Chelsea, Brighton, what we were fucking talking about. Chelsea finally get a win. They finally get a shutout. Brighton, defense looks like they're in trouble, man.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. I said before I left, I think Graham Potter needs to take a hard look at how he's playing and maybe realize they don't have the players to play that style of football. That maybe they will have to dig in a little bit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because he's leaving too many gaps at the back. There's too much going on. As an American, what I took from this is the second or third game in the row Christian Pulisic hasn't started.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that. He's
coming on late, but obviously it's looking like, hey, I gave you a chance and you didn't repay it.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to.
So you're gonna have to earn it now.
Yeah, you're gonna have to earn it on the practice field. You know.
Yep, I think the Gold Cup during the summer kind of hurt him a little bit. Made him kind of come back to training a little bit late, maybe a little fatigued, all those sorts of things. I'm a little worried for him because since Williams come back into the side, and the way Mason Mount and Hudson Odoi now back as well after this game.
Yep.
Getting a cameo. With those three players especially, that's all Christian's position.
Yeah. So where's he going to play? He's not going to get time.
Might get frozen out.
Yep. Now, I'm noticing this that there's still 2 more games to talk about before Palace and fucking Norwich. What the fuck were you thinking?
I told you. I just looked at the scoreline. You said 2-0, and I was like, it's this one.
So, Spurs go out of the League Cup during the midweek on penalties, which I'm sure brought great joy to you. And
that's lovely.
But they figure out a way to get a win against Southampton, despite having Ayer set off for a red card, which was just a stupid fucking second yellow, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I mean, what was it? 2 shirt pulls, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like, what? You got to be smarter than that.
And the second shirt pull was as the guy was going away to goal. So it's like the card's coming.
Right. You got to be smarter with that. And Ndombele hit his shot with some venom, but Angus Dunn really should have done better.
Yeah.
Angus Gunn spilled that. It was just bad goalkeeping, which I do like seeing Southampton lose, but not at Spurs.
I was going to say, speaking of bad goalkeeping, Hugo Lloris. What the fuck was he thinking?
That'll be the easiest goal of Danny Ings' career.
I'm gonna pull a Diego Maradona and dribble through the entire team and go the entire length of the field.
He completely missed the ball. Yeah. He didn't even get it behind his leg. Nothing. It was terrible.
I mean, great, it's a win, but you win against Southampton. How much can you really take out of that? You know. Tottenham still seems like there's a lot more problems than there are solutions currently for their side.
Like I said, Angus Gunn should have done better with that shot. I mean, I don't know what kind of pancakes he was making flapping at that thing, but he's going to put IHOP out of business at that rate.
Yeah.
So like that?
Yes, I do. I did.
That's why I had to come back to it.
Why I giggled. Like, you're really off tonight. You are not realizing
I'm
the
fine.
back and forth of radio, are you?
I'm
you
fine,
were just
bro.
stepping all over me and all over the place, not paying attention to
I've been pent up for 2 weeks, so I'm just excited. That's the thing. You know the guy that we talk about it all the time. Teams that look like they're trying too hard.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Heard.
I'm just really excited to be back.
Like a teenage boy with his first fucking Playboy. So,
yes.
Wolves finally get a win. Now, granted, it's against Watford. Does this help propel them? Because you got City next. You know?
No. It's going to be a thumping when City plays them.
Yeah.
They still didn't look great. Watford were just, worse. In my opinion. Wolves did start brightly, missing an early chance from Raul well-traveled Jimenez. I'd love his airline reward points. Wouldn't you?
Yes.
It's going to be nonstop first class for free. Matt Doherty finally finding the breakthrough with an easy finish following a Pedro Neto cross on 18 minutes. Should have been a handball on Holloway on 34. Where was VAR for that? What in the actual fuck? Why can't we get any fucking consistency?
We can't. We're not
right.
going to because here's the thing. Again, VAR does not want to hurt referees' feelings. And so if it isn't completely clear and obvious, this is actually the Wolves fan singing it too.
Yep.
If it's not blatantly clear and obvious, they don't want to hurt the little feelings of Kevin Friend.
His hand
or
was
Mike
extended
Dean.
from his body, and the cross hit off of it.
Yeah, no, they don't. But no. You know when that matters? It matters if they were
City Tottenham.
right. If they were trying to score a goal, then it would matter.
Other than that, they traded blows for the remainder of the first and start of the second half. Nobody was really good enough to beat the other keeper, all of which should have done better. Then a wonderful header from Daryl Janmat beat his own keeper. Nothing? You got nothing for me there?
Well, because
Thanks, bro.
again, you're so pent up and aggressive and happy and all kinds that you're not realizing I'm trying to move on from this game because that's all we really needed to say. And you're like, no, wait, I got to read my entire paragraph.
All right, fine, fuck it then.
All right, so. One thing I did want to mention about Norwich and Palace is that
We already did this one.
that Norwich is now consecutively since beating City been shut out 2-0 twice.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
That's so did Norwich perhaps shoot their load and now going to run into a run of bad form because of it?
It's possible, very possible.
So finally, you can say it was a close game until the red card, but you still need to keep your shit together. And Newcastle...
It's a terrible fucking tackle.
Newcastle, that's fucking horrific. Just because a guy gets a red card does not then mean you completely give up and allow a team to just run buckshot over you, which is exactly what...
Run buck faster, Rio.
Yeah, exactly. Which is exactly what ended up happening with Leicester. Leicester just blew up after that.
Well, listen, I always knew that there was only one result to this game, just like I knew there was only one rightful owner to this chair that I'm sitting in currently. That's called karma, Alan. Just to let you know, I am back in situ, and your boys fell faster than the track pant clearance rack at Sports Direct. Newcastle played quite like your performance on this show. Fine out of the gate, one large disaster, then largely underwhelming and disappointing.
He's really proud of himself.
I'm done now. I don't even give a shit anymore. I got my digs in. He talked a lot of shit about me, so I don't. After the red, Leicester really ran rampant. I mean, it was again, you get a goal, you get a goal, you get a goal. Vardy only had 2 of the 5. And then there was 3 different goal scorers.
So now that you...
and they had multiple chances, and Dubravka kept it somewhat respectable.
So now that you shot your load, are you just going to go ahead and roll over in the corner there and suck on your thumb in the fetal position?
Yeah.
You know what? The top 2 teams won. Neither was impressive. So you know where we're putting them? At the end of the fucking rundown. That's right. Oh, so that happened deserves more of a plug than both of these 2 games. And my team was involved in one of them. Liverpool 1, Sheffield 0, Man City 3, Everton 1. I'm going to make it very simple on Liverpool, and we're going to leave it at this. Liverpool wins ugly. They got lucky that the keeper dropped the ball between his legs that he probably saves 99 out of 100 times.
Yep. I would worry just the level of performance. I mean, obviously a newly promoted side at home, the place is buzzing. We saw this, what was it, last season, Wolves against City, wasn't it, where they drew 1-1 early on last season.
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
Yes.
It's that newly promoted, they got the whole stadium rocking, everybody's there, and I don't know if Liverpool just had difficulty breaking that down or what, but they were, Sheffield United, after being all helter-skelter the first few weeks, are very organized
now,
all of a sudden.
Now, let's go ahead and talk about Everton versus Manchester City real quick as we invite in our degenerate gambling friend Pat, everybody, to the show. And Mr. Graham had no idea this was coming.
My wallet's in the car. And I haven't been.
Allow me to get up and get you a chair, good sir.
Hold on. I haven't been avoiding you, as was so eloquently put by my co-host. I just haven't seen you.
Oh, I know.
I've kept the same schedule. You know where I am.
So since Houston walked off, I'll fill you in. Pat just walked in the door. Sam Graham had no idea it was coming.
No clue.
And I had headphones and a mic and a beverage waiting for him, as the good little producer I am.
Well, thank you for having me.
I just thought the stuff was laying there. I just thought you'd set it down. It's really annoying. I know
That
today
Tequila
was going to
Sunrise
cost
looks
me
pretty good.
I know today was going to cost me $10. Luckily, I have cash.
well, you missed out on it because the Tequila Sunrise, I floated it with Malort, since that's what everybody asked for.
But Pat, he still has his shot coming. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I'm waiting for that shot with you. In fact, going to do it here just momentarily.
But yeah, so back to Liverpool.
Yes.
It was a very ugly. This looks like, we another show we listened to pointed this out, and I'm going to steal it because I think it's spot on. This looked like a result when you're trying to chase the title in late March. Just got to get the result done. You know what I mean? Just go in, just take care of business, and get the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? And to be so early in the season, I find it a little strange. I'd be worried about the next couple of weeks.
Thank you, sir.
To be fair.
Yeah, that's frankly, worry about the next fucking game. You have the Foxes at home. That is not going to be an easy game. Good old Brendy is going to be ready to fucking play.
At this performance, I was going to bet Liverpool on that game, actually, because there was a decent little line on it. But because of this performance, I strayed away. Because Leicester could very easily, 2 counterattacks, done for. Beat Liverpool 2-1 at home, That could very easily happen. So I got the hell out of that bet as quickly as I could.
So on to the City-Everton game. City win, but that was not impressive.
Now, Gundogan should have scored, what was it, in the first 5 minutes?
Yeah, put it off.
It was
the
harder
post.
to miss that.
Yeah, and he figured out a way to miss it.
Tiger Woods, y'all.
And they dominate the first 20 minutes. They get the goal, and then they stop playing. And Everton, frankly, for the rest of the first half, they got the equalizer, and they took the fucking game right to City. I mean, they went right at them.
Well, what about that chip shot that they hit off the crossbar there?
That was the one we just mentioned, the Gundogan shot right at the beginning.
Yeah, but that was from inside the 6.
Yeah, should have had it.
Should have never been up.
Oh, when I saw that, I was like, oh, this bet's not looking good.
No.
All these chip shots.
Yeah.
Well, it's so on an Everton side, and then I'll let you go ahead and talk about the rest of the game.
I just
as
want
well.
to know how Theo Walcott got knocked out by a cross.
I do not wish the demise of anybody through an injury, but I was scratching my head at the decision to start him.
Yeah.
Because it was just, for me, it was like, wow, that just screams of, wow, we're going to pack it in and hope that City doesn't beat us 8-0.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it screamed of. And I was to see that Iwobi came in. And I know you're going to make all your pot shots about Iwobi you want.
He got subbed off. How often do you see that?
Well, he got subbed off because he played the entire game in midweek. He wasn't supposed to. He was supposed to be a sub in.
Right.
So
well, he was a sub in.
Well, he was,
technically.
but yeah, he wasn't supposed to play the amount that he played.
Correct.
So
I'll give you that.
But he helped change that game. Seamus Coleman, someone who's been getting a lot of stick lately from Everton fans, that man played his ass off and was just running down the sideline. Honestly, buckshot all over. I'm using the word buckshot again, but running rampant all over the verbal crutch. I know, running all over the Manchester City defense. I mean, it was a very good back and forth game. We had chances.
Yeah, you all had a fair amount of chances. To be fair, if you were a little bit,
Mina 3 decent headers at goal. That he
one
was
of them was
open.
a free header that he should have done better with for sure.
Anderson made a couple of really brilliant saves.
Ederson made a couple of really good saves. The other thing was, which I just lost in my notes, was the free kick Riyad Mahrez scored. Mm-hmm. I think that simply was just Pickford seeing it late.
Oh, it absolutely was.
There wasn't a great amount of pace on it. It was well placed, but Pickford should have been covering that side of the goal anyway. I just think he saw it late.
He played a little too much to the center because he was too afraid that the ball may go over to the near post. You got to trust your wall. Like a perfect example would be your game today, where Bert Leno, he let the wall cover the near post, and he stood on the far post, and he made that save. Why did he make that save?
Because he was already in position.
He was in the position on the far post.
But
Pickford set that wall and then stood in the middle, and that was a mistake on his part. But also, City did a good job of standing right where that ball came from. Was exactly where two City players were.
Correct. So you had the wall set, and then about 2 yards left of the wall, as Mahrez was looking at it, had two City players and an Everton player. And as he approached the ball to address it, they both split and ran. And it went right between the City player running left and the Everton player that was still standing there with his thumb in his ass. Mm-hmm. And I think Pickford just completely just didn't see it.
Yeah,
essentially.
And then the last goal was, and this is where you come in, you lucky fucker, for actually covering your bet. Because you totally did not deserve to cover that fucking.
I mean, I care about the numbers. What was the final score? That's all that matters.
Yeah, you fucking backdoored the hell out of that. I mean, it was a good shot by Sterling, but at that point, up until that point, the game could have been tied multiple times.
I mean, in all honesty, I was at a 12U Bowie versus St. John game, so Sam was keeping me updated on what was going on, because there was 15 minutes left in the match, and I was already counting it as a them.
Yeah. Oh, he was texting me. He was like, "I'm losing this one. Guess I'm coming to do a shot of Malort with you." And then I texted him at the 84th minute and went, "You just covered."
Yeah, and then you had that thread on Facebook with some tasty-looking Tequila Sunrises. I was like, well, shit, I'll come in for that.
Yeah, let's talk about the more important story. Let's talk about the palate-cleansing sorbet jerseys that fucking Manchester City was.
I want to talk about something else first.
That?
I actually like you, like as a human being.
Well, that's nice to know.
But you're wearing a Redskins hat, which I love. And then a Spurs shirt, which you can go fuck yourself for. And I owe you $10.
Well, so I got it on him last week, so I get it on you this week.
Fair enough.
So Mel, why don't you go ahead and hand that to Sam? I understand Sam has his wallet in the car, but Pat, I understand the importance of having the cash put into your hand by the person you beat. Particularly considering he's wearing an Arsenal jersey, handing it to someone wearing a Spurs jersey. So, welcome back to the country, you fucking cock. Go ahead, pay him up.
I appreciate it. I'll buy a nice six-pack with this.
There you go. And with that
luckily
being said,
for me, with my recent economic situation over in London, that's only about £6 to me.
Heard.
Fine.
All right. So, Pat, with that being said, let's go ahead and take care of this. I've got my Malort. You have your Tequila Sunrise as promised. Here we go. Cheers.
And there it is. For the third week in a row?
You know what that tastes
third
like?
week
It
in a
tastes
row.
like victory.
Yeah, it does. Here's one last thought on Everton. As I get that taste out of my fucking mouth.
Kinda.
No. Well, no.
Still in that cup too?
No. This one's now empty. I'm finally to just normal tequila sweetness.
All right, good.
Actually, you know what? Let me chase it with something else. How about a little Buckfast?
Oh, damn. Mel, careful.
And how about one more time? Let's go ahead and take down a little bit of Ice House here as well.
This loss was really affected him.
Here's the part that's frustrating. We show passion. We play well. We actually have a decent game against City. And then you look at the rest of our schedule and you go, you fucking lost at Villa. You shouldn't have lost that game. You lost it. You lost at the Cherries, and then you lost to the Blades at home. This should have been the game where you go, all right, that was our first fucking loss of the season, not our fourth loss of the fucking season. We have had a relatively easy schedule to start. We want to be a top 6 club, and right now we're nowhere close to being that. We're lucky if we are a top 10 club currently.
With the form you're on now, yeah, I'd agree with that.
Now I believe that this is a long season and that things will get corrected. But
it's a marathon, not a sprint like day drinking.
But I hate to say this. Going into next week, we go to Burnley, one of the toughest places to fucking play. We need to fucking win. Like, a draw is not going to be good enough. A draw, I mean, fine. A draw's a point and it's better than a loss. But seriously, if we want to make a fucking statement in this league, we now have to go to a tough away opponent, a la like Bournemouth, now with Burnley, and we have to beat them in their building. If we want to be taken seriously at all, it's what we have to fucking do.
One serious statement. I don't think you all are playing to your strengths.
Oh, not at all.
Number one, I think you're playing players that don't belong in that system, and it's showing.
Yep.
Excuse me. Think of Morgan Schneiderlin.
Schneiderlin, it's because we don't have anybody else.
But you want to play this
Andres
possession
Gomez
based.
is hurt, and JPEG's hurt. There's no one to play central mid.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Could play Davis. I'd like to see us playing Davis more, just because he's got hustle and life to him.
Right, but my thing is you've got all these players. You want to play a possession-based style. You've got fast wingers in a lot of cases. You got skillful players up front. Richarlison's decent in the air. Calvert-Lewin's decent in the air. Why aren't you playing like Bournemouth? Yeah. Why aren't you playing a counterattacking style? You're shipping after the good prophet Kyle Martino said that you all were going to start shipping goals. You did.
Yeah,
I hate him.
Started shipping goals.
Really, I poke fun at you by calling him a prophet. I hate him too. Yeah. I think he's an idiot. I don't think he's a great analyst. But he's right on this one.
Yeah,
y'all started shipping goals left and right.
Yeah.
That's 3 losses in a row, and not a great performance in the League Cup.
And in those 3 losses, we've shipped 8 goals.
Right, and in the League Cup game, you won 4-2 against the League 1 or League 2 side. I don't remember what it was, but that's my point. It's not good enough.
Yeah.
And for England's number 1 goalkeeper, you got to be asking questions. At some point, it's not only the defense's fault either.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think the backup should come in. I don't think he should be dropped. I'm not saying that. But everybody in that back line, including Jordan Pickford, needs to take a hard look at themselves. The other thing I want to say is you led the charge, my friend, of making fun of me while I wasn't here to defend myself. So as I told Alan, fucking karma, mate.
Oh, okay. Well, let's... What? Oh, no. Fucking karma. Oh, fuck off. It's goddamn City. Oh, okay. Karma. Okay, you're right. Woo! I got
What happened a week
karma.
before? What happened a week before?
My balls. Now it's time to tell you what little we know. It is prediction time. And we've got the degenerate gambler with us, so this segment will be perfect. So... Even the fucking chicken lost this week as Sam is walking around looking for shit. Oh, dropping stuff, being a fucking complete mess over there. Jesus Christ, Sam Graham, get it to fucking together,
I thought you
man.
said you were a professional. You're supposed to just roll with it.
No. Not when you're this...
Listen, the bit is to feed the couple losers. I had to get it.
You're a fucking Tasmanian devil this week. You're like, all over the fucking place.
How many do I have in that couple losers?
Buckfast.
None.
1 or 2. I thought you lost 1.
No, but
2.
but the couple losers is just he and I. So, you know.
Oh, I know.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
I know a lot more than both of you.
I actually know absolutely nothing.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Which
no,
makes it even.
I
I'm
would
0
say,
and 7.
and so does the fucking chicken, and the chicken's been fucking getting wins on us too.
What did I forgot what the chicken bet last week?
She bet West Ham to beat the Cherries, and ended up being a draw. Yeah. She went on a ledge, but I mean, it's not bad.
Not a bad bet. West Ham's in good form.
Yeah, not a bad bet at all. Like I said, the chicken apparently knows how to make bets, unlike you or I. Now, fortunately,
You're better than me at this point.
Yeah, I'm
at
only
this stage.
I'm only 290 in the hole because apparently Palace decided, hey, let's start winning at home now that Sam's betting against us.
Yeah.
And then you bet on Pookie to score, which
And
he's
shut up.
decided not to do.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wrote fucking idiot on mine this time.
all right. So I didn't.
Just went nice and simple, but to the point.
Cool. I didn't. I didn't read it on the air last week, and I'd like to applaud you for being an honorable gentleman and still taking your loss and taking it, even though it didn't get read in on the air. So good for you. Let's go ahead and feed the Sports Direct Sports. Sports Direct, sorry, Cup of Losers.
Get it
And
right, man. They're trying to save the British High Street.
And mine said, Brad, when did your team start winning at home? Is what my loser says. So pass that on over to Sammy. Sam's a fucking idiot.
Mine just says fucking idiot. About me and Timu Pukki.
Sammy, what do you want to bet this week?
All right, I went a little safer. Went West Ham versus Palace. It's at the London Stadium, and I know Palace is typically better away from home. But again, West Ham's in good form. I'm going to say West Ham to win with the total goals over 2.5. That comes in at plus 215.
215
on
okay.
us.888sport.com, which is where we get our lines. So when you all send in your bets of the week, check that website to get your lines.
Which, by the way, outside of our delightful friend next to us here, nobody has been reaching out lately. So send us some fucking bets,
Stop
jackasses.
fucking around.
Yeah, exactly. Well, now you actually get to hear it in your ears. Go ahead.
And now, it's time for our degenerate gambling friend Pat's Pick of the Week.
Why, Pat? Why don't you go ahead and tell us your pick
I'll
this
read
week?
my
I wish his
email.
headphones cut out right at that moment and he didn't hear it in his
All right, since I'm up 200 on the show, let's make 2 bets this week on both primetime matches, and we've got some exciting ones. Let's
No,
start.
they aren't.
Let's start with the most exciting one. Sunday we have a 1-2-4 NEWCASTLE against 2-2 Manchester United. I got a bad feeling about this one. The score in the last 10 matches between these two are all over the board. Even though Man U has won 6 out of 10, the over-under is split 50-50. So since Man U has taken 3 out of the last 4, no matter where they have played, I'm going to take Man U minus a half a goal at minus 120. And now for what I assume everyone's been waiting for, our Saturday prime time. We've got 3-3-1 West Ham United at 3-2-2 Crystal Palace. These two teams have come to a draw 3 out of the last 5 matches, which is exactly why I love the plus half a goal for minus 120 for Crystal Palace.
Taking
I know-
them, huh?
Yeah, I know that's a short, sweet handicap, but since I'm the only winner on the show, that's a human and not a dinner on my plate.
You're talking about me coming in. You're talking about me coming in hot. All right.
Yeah, but I knew he was doing this. I didn't know you were. All right, so very good. So yeah, that's right. A chicken does bet better than both myself and my co-host combined. I've gotten 2 right this season, and my co-host has gotten 0 right this season. So
Yeah, he's always taking big parlays, though.
yeah,
I actually hit one while
you
I
like long shots, and
Yeah.
I mean,
I
one
would-
of these times it's going to come in.
Absolutely, and I'm going to make it all back in one swoop, and y'all are going to be crying when I'm up like $300.
So
But what I had, I did actually win a 3-part parlay in England. I had in our match, Mel, I had Aubameyang to score. I had over 11 corners and over 4 cards. Jeez. It gave me 8-1 at William Hill at the sports book. And,
not the winery.
And I hit it. Yeah. So it was good.
What'd you put on
Just 5.
it? What did it come in at then?
8-1, so I won €40. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or £40, I mean.
Yeah,
It's not bad.
Whatever it is over there.
Yeah.
So as we mentioned, after one good week, I got myself out of the hole, but I'm back down to being down 290. So unlike you, I typically don't parlay it. I always like to split it up into a couple of separate bets. So for
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
Except when it's not.
right now, I'm at 50% with Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
And that's not a lock, my friend. If your front door lock only worked 50% of the time, you'd be robbed blind.
And your bets have come in exactly 0% of the time.
I don't call them a lock. I call it a long shot.
You
Or buckshot. Let's say that again. Buckshot.
Sam Houston is not pointing to his MVP penis.
I am an MVP. You need to remember that. I have a trophy that says so.
Right. You got a Gareth Bale trophy. It's a fucking golf trophy on a football show.
But
Come on,
I'm
Gareth.
an MVP.
Come on, Gareth.
I'm an MVP.
Let's get your lock of the week in.
All right, so I'm actually going at the same game that everybody else is. I'm apparently everybody's really digging on Palace and West Ham, but I'm going in the opposite direction of you. I'm taking a West Ham win for plus 100, and then for my second bet, I am taking Yarmolenko to score at any time for plus 225.
So you're not parlaying it.
No, I took it as 2 separate bets.
Okay.
That's exactly how I'm doing it. I'd rather take simple individual bets and get myself out of the hole, which I will definitely do this weekend because West Ham is winning and Yarmolenko is definitely scoring.
Well, if
so
that's the case, parlay it and get better odds.
nope, I'd rather play it safe and make sure that I come in because in case if one doesn't hit, the other one does, and I still make money. So that's what I care about. Oh, you keep doing your parlays and
Well,
keep being down $600. I'm sorry,
hold on.
$700.
If West Ham wins, right?
uh-huh.
If West Ham wins, you said it was plus 100.
Yeah.
So you're betting 100 on both. So all you're going to do is be even.
Well, no, I don't pay the money. I get the money. It comes out of you're too much. Stop it. It comes out of my bottom line. I go from 290 to 190 on that plus 100.
Yeah, but then you would have lost 100 if Yarmolenko doesn't score. So you would have stayed where
Okay,
you were.
well then I'm
you'd
even.
be
there.
even.
Well, I'm fine with that. But
I
I'm gonna
mean,
hit
the
both.
worst I'll be is minus 40 of both of mine.
Right.
You know, and
Yeah.
then of course the best would be 400.
Which that and mine isn't what? Minus 700. Shut the fuck up. You don't need to be giving advice on
Well,
fucking
at least
betting.
I know how betting
now,
works.
Now, Pat, if we gave you just that, that'd be enough, wouldn't it? That'd be a pretty good segment, right?
Uh-huh.
But we don't. We give you Kitty the chicken.
Here's what I will say about all the other co-hosts we had in here this week.
They've all
all
dug it.
danced to the Kitty the Chicken song. Even
Yeah.
Pat's over here like, I can't not grin and smile at this
Because
shit.
Graham doesn't have a soul. So, Mel, tell us about Kitty this week.
All right, so Kitty was still in a pretty decent mood after the loss. And at 5-2 for the season, she clucked at me, which I assume she was trying to communicate that scared money don't make money, Graham. Oh, I'm just telling you what the chicken said.
My money isn't
I'm
scared. I do
just
dumb shit all the
telling
time.
you what the chicken said. So this week, I gave her Chelsea heading to St. Mary's Park to face Southampton. Now, Kitty quickly pulled out her iPhone and showed me a picture of her having dinner with funny man and MLS owner Will Ferrell.
Oh.
Not only that, but guess who cooked that dinner? Gordon
Ramsay.
fucking Ramsay. So you know what that means.
Means
Yep.
going Chelsea, huh?
She's going Chelsea,
Yeah.
and she thinks they're going to win this weekend.
I tell you what, you know what I guarantee you Will Ferrell did not say to Gordon Ramsay?
What's that?
Mom! The chicken! Fuck!
I guarantee you he didn't do that line.
All right, people, remember, always gamble legally and responsibly.
I don't really want to talk about it. It was my first day back. I was still jet lagged, and we fucking sucked ass.
And we had quite possibly our best lineup of the season.
Yeah, we were terrible. 13-4 when we lost.
We got annihilated.
Oh, it was horrendous.
We played so fucking bad.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
just got worse.
not good.
It just got worse, and they knew it. And they were just like, oh, okay, great. They're now trying to push the tempo. Wonderful. We'll
Not a
just
problem.
We'll just
Yeah.
score 3-on-1s.
Yep.
It
was
so
so good.
So we're 1-1-1, but we're still, we're right in the middle of the pack. And normally by this time of year, we're 0-3. It seems to be in Division 1, so
Yep.
we can't be too bitchy about it, right?
Yeah, we're normally great escaping. We're sitting in 5th right now. So
Yeah, so that's
Not
not
too
bad.
bad.
It could be a lot worse. But still, goddamn, we got our asses kicked.
yeah, wasn't good.
But what didn't we do? We
Play
didn't-
bitch rule.
Yep, we never add the extra player, man.
Nope.
Never.
Never.
We will take our whooping like grown ass men because we have morals and priorities. Damn it!
And
And
pride.
experiencing getting their asses kicked.
Fuck
Don't worry, I'm
no,
hitting the
mute
mute
button.
button.
Mute button. Fucking hit that mute button,
Jesus,
woman.
I was about to jump on that bandwagon for a second.
Jesus Christ, all over the place. So, that about wraps it up. Sammy, got any parting words? I hope you don't, because fuck's sake, you had a lot to say tonight.
No, yeah, I do. Just want to say I had a wonderful time with Baz, Mickey, Ronnie, and all the lads that I normally see every time I've gone over at the Supporters Club. Love seeing you guys. A lot of fun. And to the new friends I made, George and Steve and their company, Leather Repair, which is a London-based company fixing all your worn leather, serving the whole of England. It was very nice meeting you guys, and thank you for taking a bunch of cards and passing them around to your customers. That's awesome of you. Really appreciate that. Just overall, it was amazing being in the stadium again. The anger at halftime for Arsenal Villa was palatable. Obviously, having Maitland-Niles sent off, getting injured as well, potentially. I haven't heard if he's going to be out for any length of time, but he was
Admit it,
kind of
you
helped
shit
off
your
the
pants.
field as well.
You totally shit your pants.
Oh,
while
yeah.
you were there.
I went 3 deep at halftime to kind of the disappointment of my wife, let's say. Yeah. I got a Pinot Noir at the stadium because that was the highest alcohol content drink that they offered because I just needed to escape after being 1-0 down and a man down at halftime. Obviously, roar around the stadium was intense when we equalized. Only lasted for about 35 seconds because Palace then scored again. Or Villa scored again.
Yep.
And then it was just anger for a while. And then last 8 minutes, obviously, we got our 2 goals and won the game, which was just fucking amazing. And the party out afterwards was just as intense as the anger at halftime. So it was pretty wild. Me and this German guy were the only 2 foreigners in the supporters pub afterwards. So a couple of people bought us some beers. They were tossing us around a bit.
Oh, wait, you were the one with the funny accent.
Yeah. And, we got called good luck charms. We, whatever. A bunch of that stuff. So, but that was a lot of fun. I think the game should have got a mention on the show, but the professionals that were here decided against that, but that's fine. Anyway, you know how I feel about you. I've told you so far today. Alan, I've already covered you. Rob, you did a smashing job. Well done.
Very good. The reason why we didn't talk about it is because we recorded on Sunday, you fucking self-fucking
That game was done.
son
It
of a
was on
bitch.
Sunday.
No, it was on
That
Monday.
game was on Sunday.
It was on Sunday.
That game was on
'cause
Sunday.
I was drinking
okay.
sangria and I was watching.
You
it.
said
I'm at a
Sam's
baby
not
shower.
here. We're not talking about him.
Yeah.
That's what you said. Even though it was a fucking lovely game.
I'm at a baby shower with the game on one side of my
Yeah.
phone and pretending not to watch the game while I'm at the freaking baby shower. And
Right.
I had so many jokes planned.
I have enough to fucking worry about, trying to carry the show all by myself on a regular basis. That really just fuck. I really don't care. Do you feel better about yourself? Have you got it all out of your system?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think we can actually do a good radio show next week?
No, this is us.
Okay,
This is us we're talking about.
Just wanted to make sure. So, thank you very much for joining us, boys and girls.
It's been pretty good since I've gotten here.
Oh yeah, heard for Sam Graham and of course our degenerate gambling friend Pat.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I am Sam Houston, and I just wanted to say thank you very much for everybody who's been sharing the show with their friends and all the new listeners. It means a lot. Be sure to keep reaching out to us on the social media. We'd love to hear from you, and keep this thing growing. Thanks again. Until next week, everybody.
Good night. You said Rob's beard was better than mine. I appreciate that.
Oh, his beard is sexy.
His beard is maybe men's beard, no? Like your beard. Your beard may be boy's beard.